Alright, I cut a pattern. I saw a little pattern in the Andy Anderson book called, it was just a little hound dog, what it was. And I printed it out, made a little pattern for it. And this is it right here. And so I cut it out with a bandsaw. Now it's, I think it's about 2.5 inches tall. Wait a minute, let me see. Let me get my stuff out here. I'm going to carve this little dog today, because it is a little Andy Anderson pattern. Good gravy, gee. Let me get this thing out of here. Together it's about, that's about 3 inches tall. And it's 1¼ inches wide. Thick is what I'm saying, wide or thick or whatever it is. And this is basswood. Now when you cut it out, or if you cut it out, the grain, you want the grain to be running this way, okay? You want that grain to be running up the legs and all that. And over here is our okay. Just like that. Okay. All right. This is our little, this is our little thing over here. All right. Now, on this little dog, the first thing I like to do is not get it too thin, but I like to go ahead and now you want to be careful on this tail because you're going against the grain. Okay? You're going against the grain. So let's, on both sides. Now, first thing I really would need to do is just draw a center line, okay? For those of you that haven't carved a long time, draw a little center line along this thing so that you can get a general idea of where you want. On each side you can kind of look so that you'll get it straight, alright? And you come over here. And over here. Now we don't want to get it down, and then we're going to kind of just take it off right in here. Now we're not going to get this thing down real thin until later. We just want to kind of get this to a point where it's going to be a lot thinner than this, but we're not going to do that till the very end, because then if we're working with it, it might break off. Okay, we don't want that to happen. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, so we kind of got the tail kind of worked on. Now, let's also bring it down the middle of this area right here where the two legs are going to be, which we're going to kind of carve out in there. And then you have over here, you've got, let me see, kind of rough on that side there where this comes up. Okay? Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to kind of just come on each side. Just bring that head up a little bit, or run around that off just a little bit. And then we can come down here where our ears are, and we just want to cut that out a little bit. Let me show you how we cut that, and then we kind of come inside here, we cut this, because the ears are going to stand out, okay? The ears are going to stand out, so we want to bring that in there like that, okay? We just want to make that cut where the ears are, okay? And on the back side here, where the ears are. I'm going to cut that just like this, okay? Alright, here we go. Now we want to come over here and do the same thing. We want to cut right there where the ears are. And we want to cut that. And then we want to come up here like this and cut all the way up. And we want to take it and we want to cut it back a little bit right here. We want to be careful in this area. We may have to make a V-cut the way where our knife is going to have to be. There we go. Just like that. Okay? And then we're going to bring this down a little bit, okay? That grain changes a little bit in there, so you want to be careful. All right. Bring this up a little bit. All right. Look at that. We're just kind of, and we'll continue to take this down. This will all be taken down in here. This will be taken down in here. Where our ears are. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and come out behind these ears and just kind of work this down right back here. Okay? Oop, I didn't go up all the way on these ears here. So I'm going to have to change that. I went and drew them on the other side. Did I come that far? No. I'm sorry. I should have went a little bit further up on those ears, which is no problem. That's just no problem. I just cut this up here. That was my mistake. I went a little bit too. When I redrew it, I wasn't watching the way I was. I was paying attention to this, which is no problem. I'm just... And let's see, cut it, there we go. Now, where the ears are going to be. Let me come across here like this. Ooh, I did a lot here. Whew. Let me cut that. Let me see here. There we go. There we go. Where these ears will be. Okay. And these are like this. I just drew it a little bit wrong on the other side. Wasn't watching what I was doing, which is no problem. I'll make the ear cut right in here. So, all right. Because I'm going to bring that ear down anyway. They don't go all the way up that far. All right. And we'll make this cut in here. All right, now. So let's go ahead and let's just kind of come down. Be careful of the grain now, because it changes on you. Okay, along here. It does. Changes on you, so watch your grain. Watch your grain. Okay. All right, now the next thing we want to do is go ahead, these back legs, let's go ahead and cut those in. We're going to come around here like this. You come around here like this, and then you start removing this wood in here so these legs will stand out, okay? Just like that, okay? And this is going to come back, so I'm just going to kind of cut this back like that, okay? Just like that. See how the... sitting here dropping everything. Alright. See how that looks like that? We're going to do it over here again, too. This comes back just like that. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Come around. All we're doing is establishing our lines where we're going to move this a little bit away. Where our boundaries are. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is our front legs. We want to work our front legs a little bit by... See, all we're doing is establishing our boundaries here, okay? We want to take a little bit off on these front legs to get the separation between them. And that's going to run up a little bit in here. Okay. Okay. We go. So, we're kind of establishing now what we have here. And then down here, the ears, we're going to have to also remove this from the ears down here, which we can also do. We can go ahead and go to the middle of it and make a cut. And we can do that, and then we'll start separating the ears a little bit. But until we get the head down, we're not worried too much about that, okay? Till we get the head down the way we want to. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. These front legs will already be brought forward a little bit, okay? So let's just bring them forward a little bit, all right? On both sides. Now you want to be careful. Get your grain right, okay? When you do these, because you remember your grain is running up the legs. Don't go back down this way, you'll break them, okay? Make sure that as you cut, your grain is going up your legs, because you don't want to just sort of look around as you just like that. Want to be very, very careful. Very careful how you do this, okay? Because you don't want to put too much pressure on your legs here because they are brittle. So just kind of get that in there. And just like this. Because the grain really changes pretty. Okay, now we're doing it. Okay, as we start bringing this all down, let's look at our dog now here for a minute, okay? Let's look at how he looks. Now, let's go ahead and establish where our nose is. So this is our center line, so we want to go, oh, maybe a 1/16 or something on each side of that center line. And we want to cut down and come from the outside like that. We want to cut, and if we make it a little bit big, we can always just like that, see? And that is going to be our nose. And we're going to cut this off in here. Be very careful. And cut this off in here. And see how now we've got the, we'll bring this up a little bit right in here. Forward. See how we've got that nose now? Okay, see it? We're starting to do our nose. So we're just going to take a little bit more off very slowly and take a little bit more off. So we have now a center point of where our face is, okay? So let's come over here because we want to make room for our ears, and we want to make a cut there, and we want to make a side cut there. Be careful, not a lot of pressure. You don't want to break your ears off. And you see how now he's starting to take a little shape? All right. And then we can kind of come up like this and over. Cut up more like here for this ear. There we go. Now it's looking more like, there we go. See, you don't have to get mad. You just, and then slowly begin to remove wood from this area right here, okay? Because we're going to shape that right there, all right? See that? We're going to come back with that ear a little bit because it doesn't fit like that. There it is. And we can kind of remove a little wood up in there and a little bit up in there. And let's smooth this out here and here. And then we're just going to kind of bring, now we're going to cut that nose so it's laying straight here. Go. All right, see that? Okay, see that? All right, now let's continue to bring our little animal down. And up in this area around the head, make that pretty. See how that is? And of course this is all wide in here, but that'll all be brought down just as well. And let's bring the legs down a little bit more. Okay. And let's kind of bring that up here like that. And let's go in between them legs a little bit more. And a little bit more. And then we want to take, and we want to just sort of make a hoof here. We want to bring that where we make the cut just right in here. See that where it brings the, you want to go in there, but be careful. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, okay? We just want to take a little bit at a time. Don't get in a hurry. There. And we'll bring that down just like that. See that we were talking about right there? Same thing over here. I'm going to bring that down. There we go. See that? See how it looks? And then we slowly begin to... Now what happens is, as you carve up this way, you're going to meet resistance. So you have to turn around, and you just carve down this way. And then you bring them both together, and you... there you go. See? Carve up this way. And this leg here is still too much big. It's bigger than the other one. So we're going to bring some more of that up. Very slowly. Bringing that down. Bring this back in here down. Because this fits in here. And this comes up here like this. And you make a little V cut right in there. There you go. And we kind of round the back side of it just a little bit. Okay. Now let's separate them a little bit more. Right in here. Cut a little bit more. You have to take the tip of the knife and just work itself in there and bring these legs further and further apart. Right.